My God, YouTube, why can't you just put shit live? Thank you. All right. There we go. Finally. Going live on YouTube is so much more entertaining than going live on Twitch. Like, exponentially more annoying. All right. All right. I think we were done with this system. Yeah, we were. So we need to continue on. Oh boy, I'm up to 150 grand for my system. Yay. Galaxy map.
Stellar cartography.
Whew. Starting out with a big jump today. Landing gear.
Gear up.
Powered engines.
Max engines.
Crewman Ripley.
Yes, Commander.
Enable chit chat.
Affirmative, Commander.
Interaction mode on.
Interaction mode on.
Crewman Ripley.
Reporting for duty.
Interaction mode on.
Interaction mode on.
Crewman Vasco.
Commander.
Enable chit chat.
Right away, Commander.
Alright, everybody's all set for today then. Starting today at 6.2 billion credits on board. Let's go see what we got out there. Six jumps to start the day, too.
Course adjustment. Maximum velocity engaged.
Okay.
Exiting hyperspace. Leaving system. Maximum velocity engaged. Exiting hyperspace.
$12 bodies. 3 jumps to go. We really don't need that much more in the way of credits to get this done. Over halfway there. Oh, that's coffee down the wrong way. Oh boy. Oh. All right. Oh boy, that is a spread out solar system. Look at that. Alright, we'll fuel up off the primary in our destination system here. And here we are. Sorry, Chester. I knocked something over. My bad. Doggo Butt is unhappy with me right now. He'll be okay. Okay. There's still some mess, Mary. Plants buried in all this mess. I think that's all that. Okay. $23. What you got? All right, let's get the belt clusters out of the way so that it'll stop showing as a ping. There we go. There's the last two. A4 and first one on the map is B7, you say? Nothing interesting in this system. Yeah, nothing worth taking the time to land at.
Exiting hyperspace.
Okay. Lost chat. That's not fun. There it is.
Fasten your seatbelts.
Okay. Not expecting anything in this system. There we go. Right, show me the money. Potentially something on that one. Potentially something on that one. 2 more. And 1 more. A3 getting mapped first, and then A6 and B6A. All right, so get in here a little closer and see what we got. Well, he already mapped it. That's fine. I'll take the data. Alright, and now we're headed to A6. Still too fast. Come on now. Well, that's disappointing. P6A. Was drinking my coffee and completely not paying attention. All right. Couple things on this planet that could be worth it. Let's slow on down here and have us a look. Alright, there we go, in range. 2 probes, huh? Okay, let's see what just 1 does. Weird. I don't even care if the efficiency target gets hit. I just want that to... Alright. Potentially one thing down there that's worth our time. That was a sloppy ass glide. Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing.
Diverting power to requested system.
Interesting. That is disappointing, although... Oh, 800 meters. F off. What is this over here? You know what? We can still make 20 million from this planet. Might as well, since we're down here. Definitely not my preferred, but like, since we're already down here, we might as well just suck it up and scan the things. Considering that it's relatively flat ground and there's no shortage of them anywhere. Now, if landing here was even slightly more annoying, I wouldn't be doing this. All right, get our sample 2. There we go. I mean, that's 24 mil, so I'll take it. Landing gear. Landing gear.
Retracting docking modules.
Clear the mass lock.
Power to engines. Afterburners engaging. Transferring power to engines. Stand by. Power adjusted.
System was a bit disappointing.
There will undoubtedly be many times like this, moments of overwhelming joy. The wonders we witness shall never be taken for granted. Remember, if all that you see and have seen is awe-inspiring just once, it should be celebrated. Maximum velocity.
Neutron star system.
Exiting hyperspace.
All right.
Boost activated.
There's going to be one day coming up soon where it is nothing but that all stream.
Interstellar travel mode. Engaging now. Exiting hyperspace.
Quite a lot to scan in this system. First discovered by identity redacted. That's kind of stupid, actually. Okay. All right, here we go. Lots more stuff. Possible hit there. Possible hit there. Come on. And another, no, another, I see. Yes, it is, never mind. Just a partially different side of the spectrum. Oh, joy. Well, that planet's got hits on it, but none of them are worth a damn. Okay, let's see. Another gas giant. Eight, 39, 40, 41 is right there. Alright, let's have a look. We need to hit up C1 and C2. Yeah, so we should go ahead and map this water world before we do that. And actually, we're going to take a little run back over to the star and top off our fuel tank before we go cruising quite that far. Okay. It's a pretty good sized planet. Just missed it. How fortunate that we're going to C1 next. But like I said, first we're going to go refuel. So that I have a full tank before we fly quite this far. Looks like we might be visiting C2 first. It's technically closer. Just waiting for this tank to get topped off. And good. Okay, come on. Yeah, glad I topped it off. This would have been probably fine, but also probably cutting it a little closer than I like. I don't like being low on fuel. May have cut that a little early, but we can always re-engage if we need to. It's better to do that because the speed I was going, we would have overflown the solar part of the solar system by miles if I didn't cut the boost on that top speed run. $2,400. Well, we can do a little better. Alright, let's hope these two don't let me down. Alright, C2. Here you go. What do you got for bot today? Let's see how that does. All right, what we're looking for is down there. Let's see. That looks okay. Chester, it's okay, man. Promise. Nah, dude, it's all right. I promise you. Okay. So... if we happen upon the bacterium and it's densely packed, I may pick it up too. Probably not, but I mean... Power to systems.
Max systems.
Landing gear.
Loading gear.
I mean, God, the bacteria is everywhere. We probably will end up picking it up. Okay, second sample of the stratum. The second planet's got a very high probability of disappointing us. Just looking at it. only 2 bios, and one is a or 1 bio, and one's a bacterium, and one is a stratum. So that is 99% of the time going to go to the bacterium. All right, we're going to be standing on top of it when we get out, I think. All right, C1. Landing gear.
Retracting the landing gear.
Clear the mass lock.
Powering engines. Afterburners, maxing engines. Power diverted to engines. Stand by.
Okay, I guess she's not on the way home yet.
Power balanced.
Wait, let's see. Are you carrying repair limits? No, I'm carrying a auto maintenance field unit. Because the hull is at 88%. We're fine. It's the internal modules I actually worry about more on trips like this. Because we will have taken some durability off the frameshift drive. Yeah. And the power distributor could use... So yeah, it's more the internals I worry about on trips like this. If you're relatively careful... Ah! As I slam into the sun. If you're a relatively careful pilot, you shouldn't have too much hull damage. As I literally slam my face into the star. GG bot. Still, I'm not particularly worried about hull damage. And if for some reason I happen to blow my canopy, that can be repaired. Like so. let's get on over to C1 and see how disappointing it's going to be. Yeah, the ship is still in good shape. I'm a fairly careful pilot. I consider being down to 87% hull pretty good for having been out here for a month. That's what I thought was going to happen with this planet. We've got the bacterium, but not the stratum. Unfortunate. Where are we? 3717? Alright, we're on our way to 4770 then. Five jumps. Not too bad. Engage FSD.
Frameshift activated.
We're definitely not pulling in the credits as quick today as we have been the last couple days.
Exiting hyperspace.
Which is a little disappointing, but I'm well within my margin of what I wanted, so if we end up going home with a little less, it is not a big deal. But we're close enough that I'm going to give it a shot anyways. We're on the way to 4470. We got a couple pretty promising looking systems coming up. And again, I have no idea how much universal color graphics data we have. The only thing I have a handle on approximately is the exobiology data.
Exiting hyperspace.
Alright, two more after this.
I feel the need. The need for speed.
Realistically, if we could get to 9, or just shy of 9, I'd be perfectly happy.
Exiting hyperspace.
Well, I don't want to give up any of my commanders walking around money, as it were. I could give up $1 billion.
Adjusting for jump. Hyperspace velocity engaged.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Exiting hyperspace.
Okay, off we go. Need to do a little refueling in this next system, which is perfectly fine.
Exiting hyperspace.
Whew, that's a bright boy. Yikes. That's better. All the HMCs. What a world, huh? There you are. Glad I went back and found that one. Potentially a very good hit. All right. 3 layers deep now. I don't really care if the system was discovered for the purposes of what I'm doing, as long as there's not any mapping that's been going on. God knows I've got enough first discovered systems. We've got a bunch of them on this trip alone. We spent a whole week flying through systems that nobody had ever been to before. Rocky body. Rocky. Looks like it might just be the one so far. Now, see, this trip is to afford a carrier, although even when I have a carrier, I highly doubt that I'll bother taking it exploring. even with the advantages of being able to sell at it, I enjoy the long distance travel and flying just a little bit too much. Alright, we got something behind the star, or did I miss something on the elliptical? There it is. It's behind the star. There it is. Alright, so you're another gas giant, so we'll have a shot at well, no, probably not. It's mostly so you don't carry, but come on, that's the whole fun of exploration, is the risk reward. Well, we've got one solid option in this system, and that's 5F, so... Of the exploration trips that I've done in my time playing the game, we didn't have the crutch of a fleet carrier, so you just had to deal with it. Like, you just had to fly to Beagle Point and back. With no neutron star highway. This will be easy. So then to Clinton and then back to the bubble and onto more. Boy, I wish that exploring paid enough for a carrier back when I did it that way. Or when I went to Sajay originally. Or Colonia, or Beagle Point. That would have been amazing. That was back before they made some changes. Like, that whole trip only made me 700 million credits. That was before fleet carriers existed, to be fair, but still. That was back when exploration didn't pay for shit. Alright, let's go find this stratum and then get the hell off this rock, because there's maybe one other thing on the planet that's worth even spitting at. Commander Blitz, hello. Prepare for landing.
Loading requested configuration.
700 million days worth of work. That is true. And that's how much credit inflation has really changed the game, because I can easily remember a time when 700 million credits was an unthinkable amount of money in this game. Like, back when, like, you saw somebody with an anaconda and you're like, holy shit, that person is rich. Which cactus are you? .6. Semi worth scanning if the separation of them is not too bad. I'm not sure if it's stratum inflation or Thargoid inflation. Or passenger run inflation. One thing's for sure, it used to be a whole lot harder to make a fortune. Those are 300-meter separation, and they're pretty much everywhere. Pay attention to your piloting. That's got to be the osseous that's over there, and it's not worth anything. We'll grab the cactus while we're down here. They're easy enough. Oh, colonization's got its own problems. That's today's video that'll come out after stream is a little bit of ranting about that. Alright, sample 2. Back this way for sample 3. Now you update. Might as well swing it around then. And there we are. Core's got a lot of interesting stuff. I haven't even looked for interstellar phenomena near the core. A lot of that stuff is generally pretty far away, though. Alright. Thank you, Mario Cactus. We'll be on our way. Alright, and where are we? Galaxy map.
Galaxy map.
Powered engines.
Power to engines.
Afterburners.
Afterburners, maxing engines.
Well, we got ourselves a neutron star. Fun, fun.
Fasten your seatbelts! It's gonna be a bumpy night!
Calm down, Vasco. It's gonna be a bumpy ride in the next star system.
Exiting hyperspace.
Alright, let's throttle back. Ow.
FSD, supercharged.
Off we go. Oh, you're in the Dastra sector?
Okay, executing now.
Well, okay then. Let's see, what sector are you in again? Throttle back. Alright, so let's give this one less than 3,500 stars. Discovery when started. It's not almost 4K. Nice. Let's pull away from this star a little bit. Ah, it's a site. EDS. I don't use anything but Spanish most of the time. Okay, that's interesting. Hadn't seen you in a while. You wouldn't get banned, but I'm pretty interesting. You wouldn't get banned, but your link would get auto-deleted. At least if it's just me. Now, my mods, when they're awake, can be nastier than I can. Okay. This one's interesting. So, we really don't have anything on Tier 3, but we've got a bacterium I haven't seen in quite a while. Yeah, no, nothing else is worth it. I'll take an informing bacteria, though. I mean, that's an easy knock on wood because it's bacterium, but it's an easy 40 mil. Oh, damn you, Frontier, for finally making me have a reason to have a carrier. Bacterium, no, bacterium. Yeah, no, it's just double checking the system scan. It's just this one. So. And really nothing easy even to really map, so. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem with them, is they're annoying. Like, they can be hard to spot, and night vision doesn't help with them. The rest of the system is all 1.6 and etc. nonsense. Interestingly colored planet. The orbit line over there is having a fit. Makes so much more sense to set prices depending on how many are turned in. It would be, yeah, it would. Absolutely. Everything gets abused at some point. Oh, boy. This will be fun. Prepare for landing.
Loading configuration.
Come on, quit being picky. Why is it always these that do this? Alright, so we're looking for a gray blob on a gray planet. .500 meter separation, so there we are. See, I usually have the opposite. Usually the further away I am, the more it doesn't want to scan unless it's bacterium. I think it's just inconsistent registration. That does actually appear to work better on the bacterium. I'll keep it in mind. Mystic! Oh, Mystic. What did you hit me with? A posture check, a hydrate, and a stretch. Oh, there you go, Mystic. Stay healthy. I'll try my best, Mystic. The pollen and allergies aren't making that real easy. There's our last sample. Boy, the ship's in rough shape. Paint-wise, at least. 32, 11, 14. Landing gear.
Landing gear retracted.
Clear the mass lock.
Transferring power to thrusters full burn. Transferring power to engines. Stand by.
Yeah, I will repair my paint when I get this thing home, probably, but
equilibrium restored.
It doesn't matter that much. It never got used the way they originally wanted to use it, which would have been overly ambitious and probably ultimately annoying. So I'm kind of glad they didn't. But it's kind of like eating and drinking in Star Citizen. It's a remnant of a system that never got fully implemented.
Exiting hyperspace.
Right. Let's see what we come up with here. Eating and drinking is essential in Subnautica survival mode. I don't think I've ever played survival mode in Subnautica. Okay, this system is looking more interesting by the minute. It was originally an elite. It was going to play into the security system way back in the day, and it just kind of got dropped somewhere along the line. And they never really said why, but alright, let's see. Well then, we need to check AB2, C2, and C5. So we'll check AB2 first. So, a couple interesting things on this planet, but if the stratum is here, what we want will probably not go. Where I see how people just go, I wouldn't. I used to draw the line at 130,000 light seconds. Most of what you're seeing with these planets that we're going to right now, though, is searching for certain atmosphere types. And in this sector, Distant Worlds 2 came through here, so a lot of stuff got scanned, but before it was landable, so nobody mapped anything. So I've got the atmosphere data I need. You kidding me? Didn't quite overlap that one off. I've got the atmosphere data I need to find what I want, but nobody bothered to land on any of them. So yeah, I've got a filter set up on Galaxy Plotter to... excellent, we do have it. That should have a... and it has been working very well. It has a very high likelihood of taking me to planets that have stratum tectonicus. And I started out from Boxel, quite near here, and we've kind of been meandering about a little bit ever since. It's been doing pretty well. I get hit 12 in a row yesterday. that's what I was doing. I was just cruising with economical routes, but I really want to get back to the bubble because I've been out here for a month and I need to be able to do some stuff in my colonization system, and I need to. This is the main account I use for tutorial videos and stuff, so I need it back in the bubble by the 8th. So I kind of had to change my focus and start purposefully trying to maximize my profit per hour. Because we did start this out as a nice leisurely cruise. But like I said, unfortunately, I need this account back in the bubble in the next 5 days, so we're trying to maximize our money. The joys of being a content creator collide with just playing the game how you want to a lot in Elite. Well, there you go, first footfall, so. And I remember coming through this sector on Distant Worlds too. Curious if you've tried looking for any of the interstellar phenomena, notable interstellar, where they're in your sector. There's some decent tools out there for finding them. They're pretty interesting to see. I've got some wild screenshots from Distant Worlds too of some of the stuff that we ran into. Alright, so this will be it for this planet. Okay, so that was body 82. We're off to C2 or C5 next. About the same distance, so. And there we go. Where is that? Oh yeah, there it is. Like this was something that we ran into on Distant Worlds. Out in space. I don't know what research limpets would do with those things, because when we were doing that, they didn't exist. There's void hearts out here somewhere, too. I think they're further up towards the galactic roof, as it were. I don't know too many people that did have limpets on Distant Worlds 2, except for the, hey, Wookie Smoke, except for the hull seals that were tagging along, because that was a luxury item to have on a ship on a trip that long. It's down there. So this system's got the potential to be 300 million for us. Right at. So I will take that. Wish there was another one or two good samples in the system to maybe take it over the edge, but it's literally all 1 and 1.6 mils beside for the stratum, so we'll just take what we can get. All right, down we go. Not too rocky. Hopefully landing won't be too much of a bitch. Prepare for landing.
Divert power to systems. Done. The landing gear is down and locked.
Very nice. It's
Sometimes
so satisfying.
a discovery can be in plain sight, under the smallest rock lying at your feet, and you still won't see it. Never give up looking, searching. We're close. I can feel it, I tell you. Look, look, look everywhere!
Thank you, Vasco. Anyways, it's always super satisfying to just land smack on top of them. Right as you come out of orbit. Okay, there we go. Quite the view. Set speed to 100 meters per second. Count the 5 for the next one. I'm lazy, and I just like for the reminder. What was that? Do SRVs add weight? Yes, but not enough that it matters. I mean, the SRV technically should weigh like 4 tons, but it doesn't. The Bay does. So that's what, yeah, that's what they just said. Switch to the Bay adds weight, but the SRV not really. So I always tend to go with the lightest weight SRV Bay that I can get my hands on if I'm gonna use one. That's also because I'm an SRV hater, but, you know. Mass in Elite is all kinds of screwed up in a lot of ways. There's no way that these ships weigh what they really would. Or what they would in any sane universe. So it just makes sense that the SRVs don't actually add that much weight. You're right, Corvus. It's the bays that you have to worry about. Like, yeah, you would be able to just squash a few rocks. I mean, you gotta figure the Anaconda is like roughly the size of, what, a fucking aircraft carrier? Why do I hate SRVs? I hate the way they control and handle. I've always hated the way they handle. I've tried controlling them with a controller, with mouse and keyboard, with the HOTAS. I hate the way that their driving model is set up. Oh yeah, we have to scan this planet. I know I'm a weirdo with my SRV hate, but Stratum. Aha! This is a 300 million credit system. What class of aircraft carrier? We have to make that distinction these days. Like, some people would use the SRV, like earlier when I landed in that section, it had, I think, 3 different bios. Like, some people would use the SRV to just cruise around and grab all of them and then go back to the ship. I just really do not like the way they drive, so... $275, 155 meters. Now, that being said, I do have a SRV on this ship. Prepare for landing.
Landing gear deployed.
Because there is one reason that I would use an SRV out here in the black. Handling SRV. It is debatable what's worse, the Mako for Mass Effect or, I think it was called the Mako, or the SRV. But yeah, I have an SRV on this ship just in case there's any reason I need to gather up synthesis materials. Yep, exactly. Yeah, that's the only reason I bring one, is because if you get yourself in some real trouble, the SRV is the way you gather the shit that'll save your ass. Provided you haven't screwed up too bad. And also, as far as the SRV goes, like, I know some of my friends that will join us occasionally on Elite streams, like, they are not as comfortable flying as fast as I do this close to the planet's surface, and they would rather just ride around in their moon buggy. I do have a tendency to fly like a crazy person sometimes. I blame that on, like, I've used a vulture for combat for like 2 years, and that'll turn you into a friggin' space psychopath as terms of how you fly. No, you can't go very fast with the gear down, but my friend Dennis will be losing her shit at that. Alright, we're going to jump to our next destination, and I'm going to take a quick break. I see the dog moving about, which means he's getting restless. Make him a Mass Effect 1, a Hammerhead in Mass Effect 2. Never played Mass Effect 2. Yeah, I was talking about you. Closing in on being done. Right at 6.8 billion. Alright. Do we need the neutron star? Yes, we do. This is what screws up your FSDs.
Jump range has been increased.
There we go. I am not looking forward to the one full day of that on stream. There will be 4 hours of nothing but that.
Reached.
Because once I get done collecting the data that I need to get to the approximate amount of credits, we'll
Hyperspace.
cut the crap and just go straight Neutron Star Highway. I only brought one. It'll be more than enough to get me home. It's only at 91%. So it'll be more than enough. It's got plenty of refills available. So I tend to only take 2 if I'm going to be out for a really long time. Alright, we're going to roll out a little bit further away from the star and then pause. Yeah. So, I'm not too worried about getting home. The FSD is what's going to take the brunt of the punishment. So, really nothing else we can do about that. Like, that's... I will make a couple minor repairs before we head home. Like, I'll fix up the FSD. I'll probably leave the fuel scoop alone. Thrusters, maybe, but... This ship is in very good shape for having been in the black for right at a month. So I will just mainly concentrate on keeping the FTL systems online on the way home, and we should be fine. Alright, take a quick break. Well, this probably won't be that quick of a break because I'm going to walk the dog. So, I mean, like a 10 or 15 minute break. So, if y'all need to go, like, do something, we'll be back in a few minutes. And we're back. The joys of having a dog. And yes, most damage is from neutron jumps, to answer that question a little late. Let's see what this system has in store for us. ABCD5, okay. You good, dog? Nothing out there, huh? Yep. I see body. Alright. So if we get a hit, it's going to be these last couple. Nothing useful on that one. Let's see. 3.9, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6, 1.6. That's a big fat no. Next stop is, there it is. Okay. Right, let's get rolling then.
Stand by.
What do we got here? Chesterman, I promise you, there is nothing that interesting out that window right now, bud.
To infinity and beyond. Maximum velocity engaged. Exiting hyperspace.
Well, that was an easy one. No refueling for us. One more, and we're there.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. I love that film. Hyperspace velocity. Engaged. Exiting hyperspace.
Thank you, Vasco. Let's go ahead and tank up this. If this is right, the potential result here is a ways away. Right off the bat, we've got one. Is everything around this one body or the star? Yeah, it is. And okay, yeah. So that is C3. Yeah, good thing we tanked up. Mandalay time. Alright, last little boost on in. Yeah, the Mandalay is absolutely gross in SCO. There's not another ship in the game that can touch it when it comes to that. So let's hope that the stratum is here. There's one other potential target that I'll take. I just haven't. I think the Cobra Mark V is a perfectly serviceable ship, but I just haven't warmed up to it like the Mark III back in the day. Can't really say why. Maybe it's because I haven't flown it enough, but... Alright. Bacterium. Okay, so we lost the other high value target. One day you'll have every ship on your suitcase carrier. I'm probably going to have all mine on my carrier. Getting ready to start the ship overview series on the channel. Now that I've run through every basic tutorial for Elite that I can think of. Get a grade ranks? Yeah, although I've long since had my ranks. Oh, for engineering? Prepare for landing.
Diverting power to requested gear down and slowing. The ship is yours to dock.
I will say this about combat, at least unless you're planning to do PvP. Engineering for PvE is more a game of... I mean, unless you're doing hazardous resource sites all the time, in which case you need the shield survivability. It's more a game of how quickly do you want to squish the NPCs.
That no one else has got. You gotta find it in the universe. Find it spiritually. Find it out there. Be an adventurer.
Unless you're doing AX combat, and then you really need to do some engineering. But regular combat is literally just engineering is just how much quicker do I want to squish these fools? And the engineering grind can drive you insane. I thought I was going to lose my mind when I fully... Well, I'm still not 100% done. Fully engineered my Corvette. This trip will, without a doubt, give me my elite in exobiology. There's no way it doesn't. Oh yeah, engineering materials are nowhere near as hard to come by as they used to be. The biggest thing is going to be unlocking some of the engineers. So the grind for on-foot engineering still feels like the old school ship grind. Which is why I don't bother with it. I don't do a lot of on-foot stuff anyways. Alright, that was 2314. Oh yeah, she's a long ways away. Oh, I actually have everything docked in the same place for once. That never happens. Apparently. I will say one thing that can save you some sanity with engineering is Inara actually has a crafting list section where you can tell it exactly what you're wanting to do, and it'll put together the crafting list, and you can, you know, check stuff off as you go, or it'll check it off as you gain stuff if you sync with it, and that can save you a little bit of sanity. The biggest thing that's going to drive you nuts is unlocking engineers, because some of them are just FDev in their damn, and they did it on purpose, but where you have to take somebody like 50 tons of a rare item and it only spawns 24 every, you know, so often, every 10-15 minutes. There's also a hidden maximum on how much of that you're allowed to carry. Let's see, this literally pointlessly adding grind. The chick that wants landmines, I think, is the one that comes to mind with that.
Exiting hyperspace.
There's actually an argument to be made for doing your engineering in Colonia. Alright, one more jump after this. Well, you can get everything done in either place. It's just that there's fewer engineers in Colonia that do more stuff, so. The bubbles got them all spread out everywhere, and they do, you know, just a couple things a pop. A single one that's only there. Yeah. But I'm done with engineering grind for the foreseeable future. I just can't be bothered. Like, I finished the Corvette, and it's meh. Everything else, I have enough engineered modules sitting
Interstellar travel mode.
in storage.
Engaging now. Exiting hyperspace.
19 bodies. Like, I'm just looking at my Corvette now. There is 1, 2, 3, 4. The power plant's 1 level off. My thrusters are 2 levels off. I have a shield booster that's not quite there yet, and yeah, that's all basically it. Like, ship's basically there. Thank you, Nora, for keeping track of all that for me. Hello, I saw you. And there's one here. Meets mapping criteria, does it? Yeah, they're terraformables. I most likely won't go scan them. They're just not worth that much these days, comparatively. Especially because they're not first discoveries. There's a hit. Potentially 300 mil in this system. Potentially. B1, B2, and B3. Just looking at chat. Damn it. See, I tend to use a Type 8 for mining these days. I just really enjoy that ship. That green dot on the scanner. I still enjoy finding Earth like Sandwater worlds. Mining is all a game about what you're trying to mine. Because that really determines what you need. The biggest thing that you want when you're mining is to make sure you have a Type A prospector limpet. Like, everything else in your build can be a little jank, but you need a Class A prospector. Then you're good. That's the biggest efficiency optimizer in mining because it doubles your yields. You know, the only other thing that really raises your efficiency, so to speak, is how many collector limpets you have. But collector limpets are also so stupid in their pathing that if you get too many of them, then they start running into each other and everything else and killing themselves. And so that's kind of a 6 of one, half dozen the other situation with those things. The only other thing that could make you really, really efficient at mining, like, is sheer piloting skill if you're cracking asteroids. If you're cracking asteroids, you need to be a pretty decent pilot. You do service mining. They're a little bit of a different game when they they're a little bit of a different game when you're cracking asteroids and you're trying to collect from in between the shattered pieces of one. And if you get, you know, I've seen, you know, one of my buddies tested out having a couple of I think he did 2 class 7s, so he had 8 limpets out, and it was, they were suicidal little bastards. Prepare for landing.
Rerouting power.
You should try asteroid cracking at least once, just so you can experience the best sound effect in this entire game.
We are the Pioneer!
Vasquez excited? Streams. Yeah, it is easily the it is the best, I think. If not, it's a close tie between that and a capital ship going into witch space. Which is essentially the same sound effect as fleet carriers, but capital ships are just that little bit more terrifying than fleet carriers are. I wish they'd use the capital ships more. Long time ago they did. Those things moved around a lot more. A very nice crater there. Yeah, I've seen it. I really hope the Thargoid War doesn't go on foot. I don't think Frontier did that good of a job with the shooting. If they're smart, they'll make the space battle and ground battle influence each other. You just uttered the phrase that is the bane of FDev's existence, though. If they're smart. Because they're not, sometimes. They're just really not, sometimes. I would gladly provide air support or orbital support in some type of ground war. I wouldn't want to be on the ground because the shooting is kind of mad, but I would gladly provide air support. Well, damn. No stratum for us. Can't win them all. We're over 7 billion now. All right. I hate going slow. Ah, yes, gravity well. Message still throws me off. I expect it to say slow. Did we map this planet already? Am I dumb? Yes, we did do B3 already. It's, B2. Ugh, my brain. Have to keep. I hope they can keep what they've got going. They need to make some changes to, colonization. I'm curious about this Vanguards thing. Really curious about Vanguards. Because right now, Squadrons is just a electronic roster, essentially. I would love to see Squadrons actually kind of be fleshed out a good bit more. One thing I really wish we had is the ability to directly pay other commanders in-game. Stratum's down there. We'll head on around towards the day side. All right. Yeah, that's the problem, is that people would probably abuse it. That's just... You know, think about things like, you know, if you're an open play or something, if you're a hauler carrying a bunch of really high value cargo, paying a squadron to escort you and being able to just send them some credits. Like, that would be fantastic. Landing gear.
Landing gear deployed.
Another first footfall. All right, so after this, where are we? 5175? No, 696. Next system looks potentially pretty interesting. Possibly 2 planets. Maybe 3. As I say, you better update. I know that was 500 meters. Oh no, unsafe temperatures. Okay, another sample. And we are done. This one's a little bit of a haul. Now, I have yet to encounter anything super egregious on this expedition in terms of temperature. Landing gear.
Retracting modules.
Powered engines.
Pull your finger out, you lazy bastard!
Engage jump drive.
Friendship drive engaged.
God, it still makes me cringe jumping this close to planets sometimes.
Exiting hyperspace.
Alright. We need a refuel, so might as well just randomly scan this system. Well, what makes me cringe is back in the day, it was around Horizons time. There was a particularly nasty little bug in the beta where if you jumped too close to a planet, there was every chance the planet's model would come with you. Which did really bad things to your client. So it kind of still makes me cringe a little. Alright, let's clear all these belt clusters so that I can actually see the rest of what's here. There it is. Yeah. Alright, how much are... B8 is worth it. The others are not. B8 should be worth about 4.2. Yeah, the other two are not near as big, so I was looking. That's why I was looking at the evaluator. The evaluator is really hard to read because it won't let you edit the text size. But the other's worth 1.5 and 2.4, so I'm not going to bother. But 4 mil is kind of like, you're here. I mean, it's basically free real estate. Pretty planet, as most water worlds are. Next system en route.
Selecting next destination.
Engage jump drive.
Jumping.
That system isn't totally worthless.
Stand by. Exiting hyperspace.
Yeah, I could, I suppose. I don't know, I'm just... FSD boot time's not that bad. I'm never as confident in my ability to get all the probes to the full scan as I like to see them. There's always a part of me that's like, you missed one.
He's gonna be a bump in the height.
Okay.
Exiting hyperspace.
System full scanned. Yay. Off we go.
Course adjustment.
Yeah, this was the one I'm using is one I picked up from that last event where they were offering the pre-engineered one. This ship's got a couple pieces of pre-engineered gear on it. FSD is the best piece of pre-engineered gear that's on this thing, honestly. That Dumble engineered drive.
Where we're going, we don't need roads. I love that film.
Boop. 23 planets. $51.75. Only 42 light years.
Leaving system. Maximum velocity. Exiting hyperspace.
Oh, hello. Let me just squeeze right on through here real quick. Thank you. Seriously, what are the odds? I'll move in a second and we'll see what that is. Okay. Potential good hit there. Another potential good hit. Potential bad hit. Yeah, those last two hits are garbage. It can be. We're going to head for CD1 first, I think. That should also clear us to where we can see that last planet. Not that I think it's going to be anything, but if I'm going to scan a system, I'm going to complete scan a system. I actually need a heat sink. I have yet to run into a situation that has made this Mandalay actually worry me it was going to overheat. It says CD 1, 2, 3, and 4 all have hits, but only CD 1 and 2 are worth a damn. CD 3 and CD 4 are both a 1 million credit bacteria and a 1 million credit something else. So, I'm not really going to waste our time with them. The aspects, yeah, I've run into some unpleasant situations in the asp. I also had a jump conda that I took on Distant Worlds too. That thing could get scary sometimes. Especially because to make that ship work right, that build work right, you need to take light thrusters, and that's not a fun ship to have weak thrusters in. Whee! Did not slow down enough there. Oh, you bastard. Okay. Stratum's down there, and anything else high value just got knocked off when we scanned it. Still, this will put us at 1 billion for the day. I am pretty sure. Alright, that glide path's safe enough I can actually look. Let's say April 3rd. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. Plus. Yes, this will put us at 1 billion on the day. It's not 1 billion until you sell it. Yeah, I know, but... The chances of me not getting to sell it are pretty slim. Because I'm a pretty careful pilot when it comes to long trips. And he says as he slaps the ground.
Offline.
And I also don't play in open. That was my own hubris getting me right there, chat. I might clip that. A long day of neutron jumping is exhausting. That's why I have you guys around. But the biggest thing is I never play an open play. So nobody to gank me. Well, there go our shields. That'll be 500 right over there. I know. This ship really makes me wish the door worked. They could. The internet would explode, yes. I disagree with you taking some hull away from me there, ship. Or game. I very much disagree with you taking some hull away from me there. It's fine, we're still at 64. CD2 is our next target. And we're headed home soon, so I'm still not concerned. And if I really wanted to, I could go to Colonia. Far away from Colonia anyways. Oh yeah, there is a zero initiative. We're only 10,000 light years from okay. Where is the station near the core? I've literally never been there. 1, 2, and we'll give you a 3 just to be on the safe side. Okay, we do have the high value there. As close as I am to Sag 8, it might not be a bad idea to just go there and sell all my data before I head home. Prepare for landing.
Deploying landing modules.
I'm not fighting with landing right now. Not as much terrain as there is out here. Honestly, the ideal lazy solution would be to catch a fleet carrier home. All right, number 2. All right. That'll be the last one for this system. Yeah, that's the problem, is I've looked several times at the different fleet forms, and it's a matter of catching when somebody's actually doing it. There is another possibility there. Let me look up one more thing. Okay, we need to pick our next target, actually, before I get too distracted. We're at 5175. Going to 2018. Actually, let me grab your... I'll grab that link first. Yeah, that's only 1,700 light years. That's nothing in this ship. The other option would be to go back to Colonia, buy the fleet carrier there, and then take it home. Climber on YouTube, can you give me some advice on how much I should engineer my ship before going on a bigger exploration journey? I would personally, at the very minimum, work on engineering.
Hyperspace.
Thank you, Vasco. I would work on engineering your FSD a little bit and making sure you have a Guardian booster. Just for jump range and convenience of travel. A lot of us prefer to also go with a little bit of drive tuning on your thrusters. Is it super expensive there? Alright. So one of the things you could do is dirty thrusters, which increases your max speed. It does increase power draw and reduce integrity a little bit, but a lot of people like that mod for pretty much anything. And then you can do drag drives for combat builds, but if you want some extra maneuverability, you can do that for an exploration ship. But mainly, you really just want to get your FSD tuned up. A modified surface scanner is helpful. Lets you scan planets easier with fewer probes. But other than that, exploration build is really about just taking the things that you need for actual exploration. Taking your discovery scanner, your detailed surface scanner, an SRV if you want one. Which, even though I don't like SRVs, I recommend. We need to fuel up. Oh yeah, yeah. The right spacesuit. Absolutely. That suit's not expensive. For exobiology.
Exiting hyperspace.
That would be the suit that I'm wearing, the Artemis. We got enough for this last jump. Then we'll do our old fuel around the star trick while we scan. fuel scoop doesn't hurt.
To infinity and beyond.
The biggest thing I always remind people of with fuel scoops is they don't have any mass, but they do have power draw. So make sure your power plant can run the thing. Any other questions? I do have an exploration guide out there on the channel that will get you started with the basics. Just in case I forgot to cover something, but yeah, it's as far as activities you can get into in Elite, exploration seems like the scariest, and it's actually one with the, as they said over in the Twitch chat, the lowest bar to entry in a lot of ways. Because there's some really good, really inexpensive ships that you can turn into pretty good explorers. And that's not just the billionaire me counting like the ASP and stuff. Like there's some pretty low end ships that you'd be surprised what you can do with. Go away, belt clusters. Alright, looks like we've got B7 as our target. Take the starter Sidewinder to the expressway to Exo Mastery from Spanish and you'll be upgrading in no time at all. This is true. Is Road to Riches still viable? I haven't seen anybody talk about that in quite a while. There you go. Easy peasy scan. Really only the stratum on this planet. Road to Riches still works. Yeah, exobology is road to exorbitant wealth. That is very true. I was thinking that exobology is an added layer of complexity for somebody that has never explored before. Not a super difficult level of complexity, but one more step. And also, we all know that planetary landings are a good way to go splat if you're not real careful. Hey, babe. So I figure we maybe got one more system in us after this, guys. Oof. I almost preferred the blue. Jesus. Prepare for landing.
Complying.
0.23 G is not too bad. There we are, Stratum Tectonicus. Exactly what we were looking for. Get that pulled back up. There's our first footfall. Man, the paint on my ship. The blue stripes are almost completely gone. Love it. Okay. Oh, those rocks. All right, there's sample 2. One more and we're out of this place. So, I'm kind of torn here. So, if tritium is way too expensive at Colonia, enough to nix the idea of buying the fleet carrier there and flying it home, I'm still considering heading to the station right next to the core. The only problem with that is that actually puts me 1,700 light years further away from getting home. But it does allow me to get rid of the billions of credits worth of data I have on the ship without having to run the neutron star highway with all of that data on board. And it does let me repair the ship and restock as well. I guess in the grand scheme of things, 1,700 light years is really only... I don't know, hold on. It's only like 20 jumps with this ship, so it's not that horrible when you're talking about a few hundred, or well, 160 or so, once you count in fuel stars on the way home. I guess that's not that bad. Yeah, Azure Initiative is sounding like a much better middle ground. I'll have to pull them up and remember what systems they're located in, but it's definitely seeming like the better option. Alright, we're in 2018. Let's go ahead and jump out to our next galaxy map.
Displaying map.
Four jumps. Alright. Right. I must tell you, if you hear any outbursts, don't worry, and do forgive me, as I do enjoy a crossword, during which I tend to think out loud, especially if the cryptic clue is obscure. It's most irritating. Anyway, yes, a four-legged cavalry beast. Ah! H-O-R-S-E, horse. There. If I do get stuck, you'll know about it.
So Vasco is doing crossword puzzles. Good to know that he's super engaged in the mission.
Adjusting for jump.
Oh, they're a great annihilator? Okay, that's always fun. Remind me again, is that actually the name of that system? Yeah, it is. How far away are they? That's much better. 1,200 light years, sure. We'll head towards the black hole. Sounds like a wonderful idea, right, honey?
Yes.
You don't seem so certain of that, dear.
Go right ahead to the black hole. It'll be fine. That's fine.
Vectors.
It is the right way to the bubble, yes. More or less. The biggest thing is once I get there, I could get this data off the ship, and then I'll feel a whole lot better about everything. Plus, I really wouldn't mind a repair and restock. Well, let me check that on the map again, just to be sure, but... Yeah, they're on the right way. That's still a long trip, but yeah, they're on the right way. They're in the Empyrean Straits, so... That's a much more viable option.
Okay, executing now.
We've just kind of been noodling around in a random path inside the Galactic Center right now, so...
Exiting hyperspace.
Yeah, they do. I tend to, once I get going on the Neutron Star Highway, I tend to just go and not stop. Because, especially if the ship is full repair, the only thing I have to worry about is the FSD taking a bunch of damage. And generally, on this ship, I found on the way out here, the FSD begins to fail around 75% integrity. So, I can repair that 4 or 5 times with the FMU before I even need to think about refilling that thing. And I've got 4 refills on it. So, I mean, I could potentially repair the FSD 15 to 16 times.
Exiting hyperspace.
So, you know, the only other thing I'd have to worry about is the canopy blowing out, and I'd have to do something real damn stupid for that to happen. So, it'll be one of those where I'll probably get on the Neutron Star Highway one day on the way home, and then we'll just go.
I'm gonna take him for a walk.
What?
I'm gonna take him for a walk.
Okay, have fun. Don't get lost.
Thanks. Chester, come on. Let's go for a walk.
Nothing will be as bad as the trip home from Distant Worlds 2 on the Neutron Highway. That is... Those streams are still up on the channel somewhere. That was like 4 solid days of Neutron Star jumps because I was not too far from Beagle Point when I took a break from the game for a while, and when I came back, it's like, well, I gotta get home. There's our hit for this plant, for this system. There you are. Yeah, it was... I'd have to go back and look at the VODs, but we were approximately... Let me find Beagle Point again. When I came back, I was approximately... here, and needed to get to the bubble. It essentially became 3 days of just podcasts. We barely even talked about the game. It was like 50 to 52. I can't remember exactly the exact distance. So yeah, it was insane. And it was just neutron jump, neutron jump, neutron jump. Except there's a pretty big expanse out there where there were no neutron stars. So, you know, a couple thousand light years of plugging away at it, 60 light years at a time. Oh yeah, it's insane with the Mandalay. Back when I did Distant Worlds 2, that Jump Conda build, that was a pretty respectable ship. It wasn't fully optimized, but same. I'm sitting on 70-ish because I was just like, that's fine by me. 73, 75 unladen. But I was just like, no, that's good enough for me. I may enhance it a little bit more, just to get over that 80 threshold, but it's serving its purpose perfectly well. We'll probably stay landed on this planet for the end of the stream as we wrap up. I'm not one of those people that likes to get somewhere in an exploration ship and like, haha, I'm here because I can jump a billion light years, but look, I can't do anything because I had to strip so much crap out of my ship that it's basically non-functional. Like people that are bragging about, I have a 98 light year jump range on my Mando. Like, okay, great. What are you going to do when you get there? You have no thrusters. You have no shields. Like, if you have to land on anything that's got higher than 0.02 gravity, you're done for. Prepare for landing.
Gear down and slowing.
Could you do this in a stock ASP? What's the jump range in a stock ASP? And do you mean scout or explorer? Or explorer? Explorer. Words. They're getting hard.
We are the warrior!
Vasco has opinions. I mean, I guess the basic answer to your question is, yeah, you could do it. I wouldn't want to. You'd have to add a field scoop to it, but other than that... Let me look at the ASP base configuration. Specification stock. Is its range really that bad by default? It is that bad by default. You could do it. You really hate your life, but you could do it. You would at least want to upgrade the FSD. And it depends on which way you're going. Heading towards the Galactic core, you can sort of get away with a more or less shittier jump range because the stars get closer and closer together. If you are exploring out towards the outer edges, the arms, that's where jump range really, really comes into play to me, because if you're not careful, you can get yourself into situations where you just don't have the range to go anywhere, because there are rifts and gaps. Would you please lock down? So I would definitely definitely upgrade it. Some 28 light years with a 5A. And if you don't, yeah, Twitch chat just made a point. You want Jumponium if you're going to the outside as well. No, you have to be a little careful when you're going to the outer edges. This is the Mandalay's default jump range is 31 light years. Last scan for the day, folks. We're actually going to leave her parked right here. Alright, as we climb back into the ship, that is going to do it for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing this again because we are getting real close to our goal. For reference, we have about 7.4 billion credits worth of exobiology data on board. I do not know how much cartographic data is on board. But we're getting real close to our goal, and then we'll head towards Great Annihilator, and then eventually on home. Yeah, we are coming up on a month. The earliest data goes back to 7th of March. So let's see how the algorithm did today. So out of all the systems that we hit today, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stratum tectonicus, and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 17 total systems, 12 of them took us to stratum tectonicus. I call that a win. Alright guys, so that'll do it for me today. Thank you everyone for hanging out. Thank you for the likes, thank you for the follows. Thank you for the questions and the conversation. I will see you guys tomorrow. 07 Commanders, have a fantastic afternoon, / evening, / morning, wherever you are. Ugh.